International trade law in 5 minutes. Hi everyone, welcome back to Flux, where we break down big ideas in bite-sized videos. Today we're diving into international trade law, the rules that govern buying and selling across borders. By the end of this 5-minute video, you'll understand what it is, why it matters, and how it shapes the global economy. Let's get started. So, here's the definition. International trade law is the body of rules, agreements, and institutions that regulate trade between countries, covering everything from tariffs to dispute settlement mechanisms. Basically, it keeps things running smoothly when nations do business together. Let's talk about why it exists. First, it's designed to promote fair trade, making sure countries play by the same rules. It also works to reduce barriers like lowering tariffs and other obstacles to encourage global commerce. Plus, it sets standards, harmonizing product safety, intellectual property rights, and environmental protections through agreements like TRIPS. Now, let's look at the core frameworks and institutions that keep international trade ticking. First up, GATT, or the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, was established in 1948 to cut tariffs and expand post-war trade. Then, in 1995, the World Trade Organization officially commenced, replacing GATT and extending its scope to services and intellectual property. Moving on, the USMCA, which modernized the North American Free Trade Agreement for the United States, Canada, and Mexico, came into effect in 2020. The EU single market allows free movement of goods, services, capital, and people across all European Union member states. And finally, the ASEAN Free Trade Area, or AFTA, has promoted trade and manufacturing integration among Southeast Asian nations since 1992. All right, let's break down some key principles of the WTO. First up, there's the most-favored-nation principle. This means basically that all WTO members have to treat each other equally. So, you can't give special tariffs to one country without offering the same deal to everyone else. Next, we have national treatment. This says that once imported goods are inside your market, you have to treat them just as favorably as your own domestic products. Then there's transparency. Members are required to publish and notify their trade regulations, which helps make things more predictable for everyone involved. And finally, dispute settlement. The WTO has an impartial, rules-based system to resolve trade conflicts using consultations, panels, and appeals to sort things out fairly. So, how does the WTO handle disputes? Well, when a member has an issue, they start by requesting formal consultations. If things aren't resolved within 60 days, a panel is set up to look into it, issue findings, and then the dispute settlement body adopts those findings. If a country doesn't comply, the WTO can actually authorize retaliation, which is pretty significant. For example, in the U.S. shrimp turtle case back in 1998, the WTO found that U.S. import bans conflicted with GATT Article 11, but also recognized that environmental exceptions under Article 20 could apply. And in the EC bananas case in 2000, the EU's banana import rules were challenged for violating several GATT articles, including Articles 1, 2, 3, and 10. Now, moving on to some challenges and what the future might look like. Digital trade is a big one. The WTO is working to adapt to things like cross-border data flows, e-commerce moratoriums, and, all kinds of new digital rules. When it comes to trade and climate, Article 20 exceptions allow for environmental measures, but honestly, finding the right balance between liberalizing trade and protecting sustainability is still a hot topic. And then there's rising protectionism. Recent U.S. tariffs are shaking things up, threatening to reverse trade growth and, really putting the strength of WTO rules to the test. If you found this quick overview helpful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more deep dives, and hit the bell so you never miss an upload. Share your questions about trade law in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're curious about. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. This has been International Trade Law Simplified. Stay tuned for more.